He's hard to identify here. This photo was taken during World War I when the Führer served as a volunteer. This is him after 10 years, surrounded by his faithful followers. His eyes are shining, his hand is furiously raised. There's no mistaking him here. Here is the Führer with his dog, Blondie. Here he is with Eva Braun, smiling. Here's his famous Tribune photo. I was there. I was standing so close that I could see the drops of sweat on his forehead. But let's start from the beginning. My name is Gerhard Detlef Meyer, and during the story that I'm about to recount, I served in the Gestapo, the Reich's secret police, as an SS Standartenführer. For 7 years, I worked loyally for the Third Reich, gaining a perfect reputation in the RSHA. I witnessed Germany's rebirth with my own eyes and believed in the wisdom and vision of Adolf Hitler. Now, as I'm going through this old battered diary that I haven't touched for several years, I'm surprised by how quickly the spirit of my notes changed since the day I visited a concentration camp. Gas chambers, ovens, frozen limbs, fleshless bones covered with skin, communists, Democrats, scientists who rejected the false scientific ideas of the Nazis, common people just like me. All of them ended up in the camp simply because they were out of favor with the Nazis. Then, there was Barbarossa. Our Führer directed the Wehrmacht's best forces to the Eastern Front, expecting an easy blitzkrieg. But the war dragged on. After our defeats at Stalingrad and Kursk, it seemed that our Führer had almost become mad. His horrible orders doomed many thousands of loyal soldiers to certain and meaningless death. In 1944, when the Soviets took Minsk, I made the final decision. A devil had brought war to the world and was decimating his own people, and this devil had to die. I decided that I must rid the world of Adolf Hitler. Many Germans hated the Führer. Hundreds of them had been interrogated by the Gestapo. My first contact was Otto Hefner. He had been serving in the Engineer Corps in Poland and had returned recently to Berlin. According to my sources, Hefner belonged to a secret group that was led by Ludwig Beck, a retired Wehrmacht general. Hefner and I became friends. We had a lot in common. Slowly, he became more open with me. At that day, July 19th, he slipped. Then he quickly broke off and looked at me fearfully. Raising his voice, he said a toast to the Führer, emptied his glass, and asked me to refill it. And that's what I did. We left the restaurant at 2 o'clock in the morning, very drunk. And then suddenly it was morning. I remember I got up without thinking why I was doing it. I still remember the hangover. A list of the members of Otto Skardzany's diversionary group. They don't look much like heroes at all. I don't remember where I've put the drawer key. Last time I saw it was 2 days ago. Let's start from the beginning. I entered the room and went to the bedroom. Or did I sit at my desk? Yes, I went to my bedroom and got changed. The key fell out of my pocket. I picked it up. Then I went back to my office to hide the key behind the photo on the mantelpiece. Or did I? Why am I thinking about the photo? I usually put it by the clock. Yes, I went to the photo with the key in my hand, and then I heard the phone ring. Did I throw the key on the armchair? Was I carrying the key when I answered the phone? Was it beside the... I answered the phone while carrying the key. The caller asked me a question. I took a folder from the desk and read some information from it. Did I put it back on the desk? Did I carry it to the radio? Did I put it on the shelf? Did I take it to the fireplace to read later? Ah, yes, there's the key.
Hello, Mayor.
Yes, Gruppenführer.
I'm glad to find you at home. What can you tell me about your report? I'll give you half an hour. Then I'll expect to see the report. Goodbye.
But I was planning to work on the Canada case last night, but a long talk with Hefner interfered with my plans. Now I have to hurry. The Gruppenführer... The drawer is locked. I think that would be pointless.
The post office is calling. There's a telegram for you from Munich. You asked me to remind you.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. We're glad that the High Command of the SS is using our post office. You don't look so good, Herr Meyer. Did you sleep well? Oh, I understand, Herr Meyer. It's only natural. Alcohol always sets everyone's minds at ease.
That's right, Wilm, but I hate to see Berlin sink into drunkenness and debauchery.
Obviously, the Führer doesn't have the time to deal with such trivial matters.
You can't blame it all on the Führer, Wilm. Alcohol is poison and everyone must realize it.
Herr Meyer, perhaps we can leave this issue until the peace comes. Alcohol is the only distraction for many people these days.
You may be right, Wilm, but it makes me uneasy nevertheless. Poststrasse 22. Post office.
Extra, extra. Here you go. You'll only find that in München, sir.
Ah, that's too bad. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Newspapers, extra.
May I help you? Your papers, please?
I don't have my documents with me.
That's all right. You can come back later. The post office is open until late.
I'll be sure to do so.
We'll be waiting for you. You can buy a newspaper on the street, over at the stand. We only carry wholesale and back issues. That's something of a problem. A lot of mail is lost. Death notices fare much better.
These certainly are not simple times.
That's for sure. Well, what kind of stuff do you like?
I'm not familiar with the current trends in modern literature. What are the popular genres?
There's war stories, party literature, ethnological writings, and patriotic prose.
Then I'd like some...
There's a wonderful book by Werner Bummelberg about male camaraderie in the trenches.
Thanks, I'll make a note of it.
I'd suggest Hans Grimm's A Nation Without Living Space. The important thing here is his insight about the nature of nationality.
Thanks, I'll think about it.
Please, come again.
Ammersee 9, my house. This newspaper is from back in July of 1939. I still use it to decode messages sent from Munich. A list of the members of Otto Scarzani's diversionary group. They don't look much like heroes at all. Documents on a few German intellectuals. Nature's burps, as Hitler likes to call them. Werner von Fritsch was the first German general to die in the war. He was an experienced general. He was promoted to the post of Commander-in-Chief of the Wehrmacht. In 1939, he was accused of being a homosexual and forced to resign. He was later able to clear his name, but never again returned to his position as Commander-in-Chief. There are a lot of useless things on this marble shelf, including this picture was taken before World War I. The strange young man seemed so naive and so damn happy. Was it really me? My second copy of Mein Kampf. It's almost new. It is the necessary reading for every member of the party. I would give a lot to replace it with a book by Kerr or Remarque. I have found this old case in the archive.